Hey everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and it's that time of the week again where I do comics for the week. Alright, first up, the Marvel titles. Amazing Spider-Man 617. Another Gauntlet arc where our villain is, well, you guessed it, the Rhino. Alright, now it opens up with... a couple sharing a breakfast in Yonkers, New York. And the wife refers to her husband as Alexei, it's Russian, I can't really pronounce it, the first name of the Rhino, of the actual Rhino. And then we get a criminal mob dealing with a with a criminal who obviously with apparently a new Rhino criminal. And then we get Peter Parker waking up from a nightmare with his roommate Michelle running in with a shotgun, saying she heard him scream. And then she tells him that she needs the apartment for New Year's Eve and says to be out till 1 a.m. And that she forgot to wake up Peter at noon. So now Spidey's going out in the snow with a pizza box over his head. And Peter goes to frontline office. Ben Urch decides to make Peter's life a little easier and offers him a full-time position, stating that wherever Jonah is paying him, he'll try to match it with extra 10%. And Peter's not sure if he can afford that, but Ben points out that since the DB fell, they've pretty much gotten more coverage, so they can afford it. And Peter, being there, kind of excites fellow reporter Nora. And then she takes Peter to... Before we get to that, we got the new Rhino apparently wearing some kind of power suit, looking at old clips of Spidey fighting the Rhino, and apparently he gets a call saying that they found who he's looking for. And then we get Nora and Peter covering this little charity casino event, and then Peter's spider sense goes off and he sees Alexei Sistevich, again, Russian. I'm not good with pronouncing that very well. The original Rhino. And apparently he's working there now since he got released from prison. And who busts in but the new Rhino. And the new Rider comes in claiming he wants to fight the original and claim his skin so that he can ascend, I guess, to greatness or to become the new Rhino. And then Spidey shows up, fights him, and at which course the villain in a Spidey fight. And of course, this pretty much has the villain saying that Spider-Man is not involved in this. He should go away. And they fight, and then sorry about that. And then when Alexei's about to surrender himself to the new Rhino, the Rhino just leaves, saying that he wants him to fight him, and so that he can beat him in an actual fight. And then next thing you know, Alexei's with his wife, and he's filling out a police report. Peter's saying, oh, what a world this is, that he found love and stuff. And then we cut to Alexei out and looking at an old butcher shop. Spidey shows up, saying that, you put on that, if there's another costume in there, if you put that on, you're just going back to your old life. Don't do it. If you love your wife, don't do it. Come on, just keep her. So he goes home, and they're both happy, and then he tells Spider-Man thank you. And we get a little backup story. And then the new Rhino's on the phone with the Kravinoffs, and they tell him that not to worry, he'll get his challenge soon at the next level. And it says next up we get a story arc with Mysterio. Oh, and we get a backup feature about how Rhino gave himself up, and then met his wife, and how they fell in love, and yada yada yada, leads to where we are today. Now then, Amazing Spider-Man 617. All I can say is, okay, it seems like we're having this is really more of a prologue to the role the Rhino plays in the Gauntlet. I mean, I don't feel as though one issue can cover this character. I mean, if we're getting a new Rhino, it has to take place in more issues, but I guess not, so stay tuned for Mysterio, I guess. It's $3.99. I guess this is worth the cover price because you got a co-feature in here, so... Alright, next up, Invincible Iron Man, number 222. 22, sorry. Okay, to be honest, I didn't read Iron Man around after Civil War. I just thought, okay, Tony kind of betrayed his friends. I'm not paying attention to this. Then I found out that Tony actually gave himself brain damage and deleted all the databases of the registered heroes just so Osborn wouldn't get his hands on it. So I thought, okay, Tony risked his own health for everyone else. I guess, he really is one of Marvel's big three characters. So pretty much, Tony's in a coma, and after using a repulsor generator that was charged with Thor's lightning, Tony's body is alive, but he's in a coma. And Tony's mind is actually in some sort of post-apocalyptic future that's like, I don't know, something out of the future of Terminator where Skynet rules or something. And Tony's being hunted, and apparently he found the Iron Man chest plate. He has the repulsor generator in his heart. He just has to figure out how to get them to work. And then eventually Hammer attacks the small town motel they're in, and pretty much they end up moving Tony to the basement. Oh, sorry. Yeah, pretty much Tony's friends in his mind get captured, then Tony's all alone, and his friends Pepper, Maria Hill, Donald Blake, aka Thor's civilian identity, move Tony to the basement, and then they realize they need someone to help, so Captain America, Steve Rogers, shows up with Doctor Strange. No longer Sorcerer Supreme, but he's still able to perform a ceremony to help get Tony's mind back. And perfect line here by Strange right before he enters. He says, "Trust me, I'm a doctor." So Doc Strange goes in, and he finds Tony, says, "I'm here to show you your way out. The world needs its Iron Man." Alright. Invincible Iron Man number 222. It seems pretty well. It seems to show that Tony is trying to get back, but he has to accomplish his own inner demons, I guess, that are still in his mind, and in order to be at full strength to take out Osborn along with Thor and Captain America. Alright, so I would recommend picking up Invincible Iron Man, because it seems to be really good. And yeah. Okay, so this is just the Marvel videos of the week. I have DC titles, but I wasn't able to get one DC book, so I only want to do the Marvels right now because I'm done with Marvel for the week. Just these two. And pretty much, yeah, that's it for now, I guess. I'll report with the DC vids soon. Meanwhile, Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.